Donny, hold tight for a minute. We'll get started here in a few.
Cool. Sounds good.
Jamal.
What's up, man?
What's up, Jamal? We're hold tight for a minute. We're going to get started in a couple minutes.
Okay.
All right, I got 301, so let's kick things off here. Once we get to the question portion, I'll call on people like we normally do. If you have any follow-ups or you need to ask something else, just shoot me a text or put a chat in the Zoom. But we'll start with the players first. I'll start with Jamal. Jamal, if you could kind of just talk about what these last couple weeks have been like, reporting to campus and starting the voluntary stuff. What's it been like for you? And then we'll go to Donny, answer the same thing, and then we'll take questions. So Jamal, kick things off.
Yeah, man. Coming back, they were saying the workouts is voluntary, but when they say voluntary, that's really like mandatory for me. We had to do a little quarantine in the dorms to make sure everybody was safe. Everybody did their testing, and now it's back to work. We started our first workout yesterday, and just to get our bodies back right because we've been off for a while, and you can't get the same training as you would at the facility. So like being able to come back and work with Coach Lou and the staff is very good for us.
Donny. You're muted, Donny.
Sorry about that. So Jamal kind of hit it on the head. I think the process of getting on campus, it's been good. So far, so good. We are executing our plan to return to campus. Obviously, we've had to make some adjustments, as Jamal mentioned, having to quarantine and things like that. But things are changing daily, so, we got to embrace change at this point. But I'm excited to be here on campus, work out with my teammates. Yeah.
Joey, we'll kick things off with you if you're good, and then go to Alec.
I guess I'll start with Jamal. Before you guys got back, some of your teammates maybe were a little hesitant or wanted to know a little bit more about how things were going to go with the quarantine and what kind of access would you guys have. What have you guys learned about availability to the weight rooms and kind of what this process is going to look like?
Yeah, man, this whole thing, COVID has changed a lot of things. We can't really do a lot of touching like we used to without it going on. You limit the weight room to guys that have to come in. So instead of having a big group, you have a small groups of those single-digit numbers in the weight room, and it's a change. It's something that we got to adapt to until everything blows over. But hopefully everything come back together.
Thanks, Jamal.
Alec, go ahead.
Jamal, the defensive line has a lot of guys who have been together for a little bit of time, but now the freshmen are kind of starting to come in and get in the workouts. What do those kids need to prove to really kind of mesh in with you guys and gain a little trust on the group and be able to trust each other once the season starts?
Yeah, man, we just want the guys that's coming in to have heart for the game. Like you said, it's not a lot of experience at the D tackle position, D line period. You got a couple of guys who started here and there, but if everybody has the heart, everybody has the willing to go out and work and do what they're supposed to do, then we can be very dominant.
Go to Scott Ritchie and then Jeremy.
I guess both of you guys could answer this. Just what was the return process like from the testing to being quarantined by yourself? Just what was that first period like for you guys?
Yeah, I'll start. Sorry, Jamal. So yeah, it was a process for sure. Came onto campus, got tested. We were quarantined for I think 3 or 4 days, and then we were tested again. So yeah, we were in the dorm by ourselves, very limited to what we could do. Meals were brought to our floors, and there was a process of how you got your meals. You were to wear your mask all the time, and things like that. So, I know a lot of guys in that were staying in Brownlee didn't want to take a lot. They didn't want to take a lot of time off. So guys got creative in their rooms. I know I got creative in my room as far as getting work in and things like that. So I guess that part is a little frustrating because you're in a dorm and you don't want to lose games or you want to keep moving forward. But guys in the rooms were able to adapt, and I was able to adapt and keep working. So.
Yeah, like what Donny said, it's a lot of things that goes on now with us being tested every week. We got different procedures we got to do when entering the facility. The quarantine part, that's what's going to help us. And the COVID testing, everybody was kind of nervous about doing all that, but it's going to help us out for the long run so we can be able to get back on the field and do what we have to do.
If I could get a follow-up real quick. Donny, what's a dorm room workout look like?
You got to bring your own bands, resistance bands, push-ups, things like that. I've brought up a little small hurdle to jump over, things like that. Anything that you can think of a workout where you don't have weights, obviously. But I had some resistance bands in the room, and yeah.
All right, thanks.
Jeremy.
Jamal, what was a COVID test like? Can you take me through what that was like?
Yeah, man. Everybody's seen the videos of the Q-tip thing inside the nose. It go back pretty deep in your nose. I never knew my nose was that deep, but it was all right. It got better the second time, and we will adjust to it as we continue to do it often. So it's kind of smooth now.
And this is for both of you guys. Have you had a workout with Lou? And when you heard the whistle, you heard him yelling. I'm guessing was that welcome when you heard that?
Yeah, we've been through about 2 workouts, and we're doing a lot of the same things that we did last summer. So it's kind of bringing back we're back. Like, here we go. It's definitely exciting for sure. There's when you hear his voice and you hear the whistle, you're like, all right, it's time to grind. You're with your guys, your teammates. Obviously smaller groups right now, but it's fun being out there, and I like it way better working out with my teammates rather than being at home and working out alone. Just being with them and pushing each other. So yeah, we're excited for sure.
Yeah, hearing the whistle of Coach Lou, that's bringing in hard work. Like you already know, like we finna get on the field and grind, and it's no time to play, and it's just time for us to do what we have to do so we can go get the rings. So we need the rings.
Thanks, guys.
Matt Stevens and then Lauren. Matt, you're muted.
For both of you guys, the social distancing and the mask wearing, I've heard that that's a big change. Are you guys doing that in the weight room? Are you guys doing that during your workouts? Like, what's the protocol like that you guys have had to have for that? And then just from a social distancing standpoint, I know we've seen the videos before of camaraderie in the weight room when the guy does a rep. Is it just something that you have to keep in the back of your mind that this is, the 6 feet apart and all that kind of stuff when you're doing these types of things?
Yeah, like I said earlier, when I said they limited the weight room to like
For either one of you, Donny or Jamal.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, like they limited the weight room, to a single digit number of guys, and we had every other rack. We wear our masks throughout the facility. We can't really go upstairs into the facility because we want to keep everything on one level to make sure like germs don't spread or whatnot. And being tested by temperature every day, and just making sure that we don't have any symptoms. And yeah, like I said, it's like it's a crazy thing right now.
Yeah, just following what Jamal said, definitely a change. And it's definitely something that we all have to keep in the back of our heads. We're all, as Jamal said, we got about 9 guys in the weight room, and we're all spaced out in our own rack. And so, we're not allowed to, come in too close to contact with guys and things like that. And, we're taking surveys before we come to the building, and just to, have our training staff, have them know that, if there are symptoms, well, hold on a second, let's treat this the right way. Getting our temperature every day and everything like that. So it's a change, definitely. I'm always conscious of putting my hands, closer to my face and things like that. We obviously don't want to do that. Washing my hands all the time. And so, yeah.
Lauren?
Thanks, guys.
Donny, talk about the process of your 3 years here, coming in as a walk-on. I believe, I don't think you were on scholarship when you came from Valpo. Are you on scholarship now? If so, when did you get it? And talk about each of your 3 seasons, what it was like to come in as a rookie, then last year when you were eligible to play, and now.
Yeah, so as of, I think, November of 2019, I am on scholarship. And just kind of looking back, I first got here, I was ineligible, obviously. So it was a year that it was a big mess. I had a lot to learn, getting used to the speed of the game, and really just, learning the offense. I thought that was a big opportunity for me to, to open my ears up and listen to what the coaches are saying, and try and take in as much information as possible. And then the next year on the field, I did whatever I could to help my team, and took the things that I learned over the course of spring ball and summer camp, and learning from my teammates, and just showing that on the field. And so I was fortunate to get some opportunities on the field in 2019, and to make a couple plays. So yeah.
For Jamal, talk about your play both as an end and a tackle, and what are you emphasizing position-wise this season?
Yeah, I used to play end a lot when I was a freshman. They added weight on me, and I'm really liking the inside more. I'm more of a smaller body, but I'm quick. And I use my quickness a lot to try to beat the guys that's in front of me, and that works out for me good, yeah.
Let's go with Marley and then John.
So first for Jamal, who is that crashing in on, who's photobombing you there in the Zoom call?
My housemate Kendrick Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Kendrick Green with me.
So you guys mentioned, this can be for both of you guys, but you mentioned the social distancing and being in the weight room and having to be separated. But I feel like, it's kind of second nature for you guys to maybe give your teammate a high five or a pat on the back. How do you maintain camaraderie and just team chemistry when you guys have to keep your distance?
Just like we on the Zoom, everybody, we still contact through the phones and things like that. We still lift each other up while we're doing our workouts. Even when we're running, we just can't get close to each other. We all know that COVID is a real serious thing. So just we all have that in our mind, and just by us knowing that, we know that we are all good. So we don't have to really do all the high fives and touching and stuff like that. We all good.
Yeah, just going off what Jamal said there. Yeah, we don't, jumping on each other and high five and things like that. That's great. But I think we're doing it more verbally, pushing each other through, lifting and even if you got to yell across the weight room, to encourage someone that. We're starting to get used to it as we do it more. Yeah, our heads at all times, really. For me, it is, at least, and I think for the other guys it is as well, because it is a serious issue, and safety is the main concern right now. So yeah.
Thanks, guys.
John.
Hey guys, can you just talk to how much different is it this year than say last year of coming into the summer? I mean, you would have been with Lou and everybody on the spring. How far off is the team from being conditioned like they were last year at this time?
Well, I think things are obviously different, right? Things are we have to change, and so I think as far as guys being in condition, a lot of guys are putting a lot of work in. It doesn't matter where they're at right now. As far as being conditioned and everything, that we're going to be, by the time fall camp comes and by the time the season comes, we're all going to be in great shape. And I know that there have been talks about the NCAA help make up for the lost time. I think there's some more player-coach interaction that'll be allowed later in the summer. So we'll do whatever we can to be prepared, and by September 4th, we'll be ready.
Going off what Donny said, I know my teammates. I know every one of them, they wants to work. I know a lot of people there at home right now, but I know that they're getting to work. People posting Snapchat videos while they're with their trainers and stuff. As long as everybody's still getting that work, we're going to be good. Fall camp, everybody's going to be in shape, and we're going to be ready to win.
How many guys are here percentage-wise? Is half the team here? Is a third? Is it three-quarters? And most of them? How many guys are here?
I don't know exactly. Go ahead, Jamal.
Yeah, I don't really know the exact number, but it's quite a few of us. You got a lot of people who are high risk at different things and stuff like that, but there's no information for me to give. But other than that, I know it's a good amount of people here.
Let's go. Who have I missed here? Nico? I don't think I got you, did I?
Mine already got asked.
All right. Scott, did I get you?
Yeah, but I got another one, if that's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess for both you guys, just the fact that the team is getting back to campus, workouts are underway, does that give you a better feeling that September 4th you guys are going to start the season?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the season goes, we're taking all the steps necessary to start the season on time, and our motive right now is, we're going to play, and we're going to prepare like we're going to play. So, we're going to obviously, testing is going to be important, following all the public health recommendations and things like that. We're going to have to continue to do that, but our mind is set on. We're to prepare like September 4th is going to happen, and that's the only thing we can do. We can only control what we can control. So,
to piggyback off what Donny's saying, yeah, we can only control what we can control. Everybody still had that mindset we're going to play, we're going to win, we're going to win our first game, we're going to win every game for this season, for the most part. So everybody still has the mindset that we on September 4th are going to go out and play. So we're going to keep working.
Let's go to Cotter, I haven't called on you yet, and then Joey had a follow-up, and Carson after that.
Donnie, I know you came from the same high school as Mike Dudek, and you spent some time here while he was still here, although his career ended the way it did. But what did you learn from Mike? You guys are about the same size and stature, and you've got a chance this year to be one of the top receivers on the team. What did you learn from Mike Dudek, and how are you taking that into this season now that you're on scholarship?
So back in 2018, I think it was my first summer here, when Mikey was here, I was in a lot of contact with Mikey, actually. We were on FaceTime. We were meeting up at the facility, and he was helping me really get familiar with the offense. And not only that, but also technique and doing drills. We were always catching balls together. And things like that. So he was, a big influence on me, and he helped me a lot through that 2018 season, even when he wasn't on the field. He was out there at practice all the time, and he was watching me, and he was seeing what I was doing, and every once in a while he'd come over and give me some advice. So I watched a lot. I watched a lot of his film and things like that. So I've taken things that he's done and implemented in my game as well. So yeah.
Joey.
It's for both of you. I mean, for the last 3 months, we've all been encouraged to stay away. But what was a true 3-day quarantine like? Donnie, I know you said you worked out, but what's it like just to be by yourself for those days? And how do you both pass 3 days of time in a dorm room?
Yeah, it was tough for sure. I mean, I think before you're actually in that dorm and in that quarantine, you think, wow, this is going to be really hard. But I found a lot of time and I found a lot of, downtime that I had to just really attack and I guess focus on school a lot more. I was in a class, so I was, hammering away at the books. And then it was an opportunity for me to just watch film all the time. So I was doing that a lot. I was walking through things in my head in the dorm room. And so I spent a lot of my time doing that. So I found a way to keep myself busy. That's for sure.
Yeah, coming off what Donny nothing was said, like with the resistant bands and stuff like that, I had a couple of them in my room. I was getting as much work in as I could, and I had enough. I just had time on my hands, so I go watch film, or I go on YouTube and watch some Illinois football highlights. Just to relive those moments and things like that, so we can make even better moments this year.
Thanks, guys.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's gonna be like 30,000 undergrads coming back to school, a bunch of kids around. Are you guys gonna be more isolated, you think, during the fall, like staying away from students?
Jamal, you go ahead.
So yeah, I'm still gonna take my safety protocols, because COVID is real. Like I said, I'm still gonna do what we're doing right now. I'm gonna try to stay as isolated as possible, just to make sure that I keep my health straight and I don't affect my team by getting into other health problems. So just by staying as close to myself as possible, that'll be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to follow up on Jamal, I think each of us is going to have a part to play in this process. There's going to be a protocol that we have to follow. And so I don't know if there will be some increased changes when the fall comes around and students are back on campus. But I know that the same health recommendations that the CDC and our staff is saying is what we're going to have to do, and maybe even a little bit more than what we're doing right now, just because of how many kids are on campus. So yeah.
And just a quick follow up, it's possible that there won't be a lot of fans in the stands due to regulations. What do you think it's going to be like playing in front of stadiums with no crowds potentially?
Um,
Go ahead, Jamal. You got it.
Fans or no, we still know who we playing for. We still playing for their line, our family. Even if they're not there in the presence, we still know that they're behind the screens watching us and cheering us on. And as long as we have that in our mind, to know that we still know that our fans love us and they really want to watch us, we still gonna do it for them. And that's just the big point of it.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have the best fans in the Big Ten for sure. We're gonna miss them for sure, and things like that. But like I said, we're gonna have to embrace change right now. So we're gonna continue to prepare like we do, like we always have, and hopefully be successful.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Alec, you had a follow-up, and Matt Stevens after that had a follow-up.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. Jamal, you kind of broke out last year. I think you had 5.5 tackles for loss, which is a career high. Is there someone on that D-line group this season that you feel like is kind of set to break out, whether that's a younger guy like a Keith Randolph or maybe someone who's a little bit older like Calvin Avery?
Yeah, man, I want to say all eyes on Calvin Avery. The guy's been putting in the work while we've been at home. He calls me and him. We call every day. Talking about what we have to do to make this season better for the whole team. And it starts up front. So we got to be the most dominant players. And I talk to him all the time. I tell him hey, you got the potential. You got it. You just got to go out on the field and do what you have to do.
Do you feel like Calvin is someone, the two of you playing next to each other, presumably, you said you're getting back to D-tackle, that you guys are going to kind of have to be an anchor for this defensive line with the questions a little bit on the edge of the defensive end position?
Yeah, the whole defense line has to come together as a whole in general, but I know me and Calvin, we're going to hold it down on the inside, and we have faith on our outside guys, and we, even the backup players that's playing behind us or whatnot, everybody's going to contribute to being dominant.
Thanks, Jamal.
Matt?
Yeah, it's quick for Donny is just simply I wanted to double back and ask if you were still remained on scholarship. And I know it's a difficult question, but it's still a 1-year renewal plan for everybody. And since a lot of guys during the season that get scholarships, it's a 1-year deal. I just wanted to make sure that you had remained on scholarship, and the plan is for that to continue moving forward.
Yeah, on scholarship, and I think the plan is for that to continue. So, yeah.
I miss anybody else? Anybody else have any follow-ups? I think I got everybody. Lauren, you got something? Fire
Just
away.
one last
Is it about
question.
Jake Hanson's position?
One last question for Donnie. Your business is catching the football. When do you get to play with the football? I know you're working out, but when do you get to play with the football?
So that process is yet to come as far as throwing the ball, with our QBs. We're not there yet as far as just the health process goes. We'll get to that point for sure. But I'm finding ways, in my apartment. I got a ball here. Obviously, I'm doing just ball drills in here and working on my hand strength, things like that. So it's a sacrifice right now, but you have to find other ways to get better, and that's the time that we're in right now. So.
Anybody else? Lauren, you got another?
That's me.
That's
enough.
good. Anybody? Did I miss anyone? I think we're good. Guys, thank you for joining us. You guys are both awesome. Stay healthy, everybody. And we'll see you later. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.